Hi friends, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss on this Viparita Raj Yoga. Friends, this is second video, and the first one due to some issues, maybe the voice was not clear. I tried deleting the video also, but it failed. So that's why I'm once again recording this particular and important Raj Yoga. Okay, so friends, last time we discussed about Nicha Bhanga Raj Yoga. So, there, the Nicha Bhanga Raj Yoga was formed. It is formed from signs. Okay, so whenever the planet is placed in different signs, the Nicha Bhanga Raj Yoga is formed. Okay, because signs where the planets get into Nicha condition. That is why it is Nicha Bhanga Raj Yoga. And this time we'll discuss this Viparita Raj Yoga. Okay, this is a very interesting yoga because it is also a kind of Raj Yoga which happens only after struggle. Okay, or the struggle part is also associated with this Raj Yoga. Okay, but it's very strong. Okay, so friends, I will repeat the fundamentals. Like first thing is, whenever we are looking at any Raj Yoga which is happening, we must understand that Lagna has to be strong, Lagna Lord has to be well positioned, and Moon has to be strong. Okay, so this is a condition because as I repeat, without Lagna or without the person himself or without the first house being strong, none of the Raj Yoga is going to give a very good result. Okay, so the Lagna always has to be strong and the mind has to be clear. That is why I'm saying Moon also has to be very strong. Okay, so this is one thing. And then this Raj Yoga, as it says, Viparita Raj Yoga. Okay, so it says that when this Raj Yoga happens with when there are from the setbacks in the life. Okay, so why it is said so? Because it is the Raj Yoga is being formed from most difficult houses in the birth chart. Okay, so friends, the sixth house, eighth house, and the 12th house are known as the difficult houses in the chart. Okay, so because these are whenever these houses are active in the chart, it will add some or the other form of struggle to the native. Okay, sixth house, eighth house, and 12th house. Okay, so that is why it's known as it is known as the Dusthana. Okay, so houses. Okay, so these are the houses, but even when they are active, even when the lords are placed there, okay, then also it instead of the struggle, the person is able to come out of struggle, and he's able to make a very good success out of these conditions. That is why it is known as Viparita Raj Yoga. Okay, so how to understand like how exactly Viparita Raj Yoga happens? Whenever friends, when we see that sixth house lord is placed in sixth house, or it is placed in eighth house, or it is placed in 12th house. Okay, then or eighth lord is placed in sixth house, or eighth lord is placed in eighth house, or eighth lord is placed in 12th house. Or the third condition is when 12th lord is placed in sixth house, 12th lord is placed in eighth house, or 12th lord is placed in 12th house itself. Okay, so this very yoga is going to get formed. Okay, but to get highest level of success from this yoga, the lagna has to be very strong, because I will tell you, when these houses are active, okay, to understand in that way, what is sixth house? Sixth house is known for three things. Okay, one is the disease. This is the house of disease. Okay, this is a house of debt. This is a house of enemies, and this is also a house of when we see like this is a kind of house which is associated with litigation also. Okay, so all these things, when we see, it gives a lot of stress to a person, right? Okay, because when you have a disease, your half of your brain is focused on those disease and solving that and getting out of that. But my dear friends, this sixth house is a short-term disease. Okay, but this disease can be cured for short time. Okay, short term. But when sixth house is active, the person will frequently fall sick. Okay, frequently he or she will fall sick. Okay, this is the thing which happens with sixth house. But when sixth house is powerful, the enemies at times, if the other factors don't match, the enemies also are create a lot of trouble for the person. The person will have litigation in property, he will have a lot of disputes or court cases, and everything will happen when sixth house is strong. But when sixth house lord is placed in sixth house, it makes the sixth house strong, and where the thing goes in a reverse direction. Okay, so ultimately it changes into a Raj Yoga. Okay, so that thing happens when it happens in sixth lord is placed in sixth house. So now coming back like to eighth house. Okay, so when eighth house lord is placed in eighth house, okay, this is eighth house is a bit different. Okay, why I will tell you. From 6th house, 12th house, from 8th house is very important. Why I will tell, because any planet which is sitting in 8th house will aspect the second house. Okay, second house is ultimately the house of wealth, wealth which a person can store. Okay, so it's a kind of wealth where we keep on building the wealth. Okay, it's not about expenditure, it's about creating a lot of lot of wealth only. Okay, I wouldn't use the word as property and all that. It's all about only about money and wealth. Okay, that is why any house which is any planet which is sitting, so at times we would have seen that eighth lord, second lord is placed in eighth house, also makes the house very stronger, because obviously the lord is expecting to its own house. So when eighth house lord is placed in eighth house itself, it creates this Raj Yoga, Viparita Raj Yoga. But here the lot of struggle will be there, because eighth house is a house of mysteries. Okay, eighth house is of long-term diseases. Okay, sixth house is house of disease, but that is short-term. But eighth house will have long-term diseases. Any disease which happens, it will be long-term. And the most why everyone is afraid of eighth houses, it can lead to accident also, and it can lead to all of a sudden gains and losses also. Okay, that is why this eighth house is very powerful, because it's a house of sudden events. Okay, so when eighth house is getting powerful, it can add a lot of obstacles to the native. Okay, it can create a lot of obstacles whenever he's trying to do some of the other thing, that will get that will be stopped due to various reasons which he is not also aware of. Okay, so it improves sorry, it yeah, it creates a lot of delay in the natives anything that he's trying to succeed with, like it gives a lot of delay to for that person. So that is why eighth house is when I say as compared to the sixth house, eighth house is more risky. Okay, because as I said, anything which is happening, okay, anything which is happening, it can be related to any particular area of your life, but anything which is associated or which is there in with eighth house means that will have certain things and mysterious things also, and a lot of factors which are related. Okay, but obviously eighth house is house of knowledge also. Okay, knowledge which is hidden knowledge. That's why it is very helpful to explore or experiment things and all that. But here when eighth house Viparita Raj Yoga happens due to eighth house, first point which will happen is the person will get a lot of wealth. As I told you, the reason is because eighth house is the ultimately which is looking at the house of wealth. Okay, if it fails, then it's a different condition that he may be able to store that wealth, or the wealth is whenever he will have the wealth, there some of the other way it will be used in the way which he had not thought of. Okay, so he will not be able to store the wealth. That is why it is known as eighth so how far the Viparita Raj Yoga is working. Okay, so that is formed from 8th house. Then more we will go, the more riskier house is 12th house. 12th house, why I'm saying risk is because it's a house of expense and losses. Okay, it is a house of long term detachment. Okay, so isolation kind of house is also there, because detachment, when I'm saying people, you would have seen that a lot of people stay in foreign countries and they spend their entire life staying away from the family. They have a lot of money, they undoubtedly they have a lot of money, but always they have to stay away from the family in foreign lands and all that. Okay, so that is why when this 12th house is active, or the 12th house is forming this Raj Yoga, this will be different. And also when Viparita Raj Yoga is formed due to this 12th house, it means that 12th house is in activation. Okay, so there is some other aspect of expenditure is always will be there with that native. Okay, so any form it can be, but the person will have may have a lot of expenditure, or he may not be able to store the wealth. But if you have wealth, or you have money means wealth, so the amount of wealth or money he'll be getting, that will be high, or the life conditions will be very high. Okay, particularly it is related to the foreign conditions. Okay, so why we call it as Viparita Raj Yoga, or because as I told, like as compared to, there are few yogas in a chart which happens with auspicious planetary positions or placed in auspicious houses. Okay, very good houses, as I explained earlier, saying that 1, 4, 7, 10, or 1, 5, 9. Okay, so suppose any Raj Yoga which is happening, so let's say take an example of Pancha Mahapurusha Yoga. Okay, so the Pancha Mahapurusha Yoga, which if it is getting created in the 4th house itself, means the person will have a lot of the person will be happy in his birthplace. Okay, he'll be getting a lot of things in his birthplace only. He'll be having all the comforts in his life. You would have seen people who are able to change vehicles or change houses within a short span. Okay, and it keeps on improving for them. So that's a very good example where the struggle part is less and the success part is very high. Okay, here when Viparita Raj Yoga happens, the struggle will be, no doubt, the success will be huge success. Okay, but the struggle also be so hard that the person will at time think that why I am going through this kind of things, or why it is happening with me. So it will create a lot of at times person may have to go with some of the other part of his life with the depression also, because a lot of struggle at times confuses a person, saying that why these things are happening with me, or how it is happening with me. So that is why we need to see, and there is a very slight difference when we see that the Viparita Raj Yoga, and or if it is turning into a Viparita Raj Yoga, or it is only these houses getting stronger. Okay, I will explain. Okay, now here comes the main thing, like when these houses or the lords are strong in those houses, but we don't have strong lagna, or neither the moon is also strong. Okay, so what will happen is the struggle which is coming in the life, that will be more as compared to your gains. Okay, that is why kind of thought which will come, that why things are happening in this way with me. Okay, so that is why, because all the time people, 90% of the people, we say that all the time, why me and why me. Okay, so yes, it happens. Okay, because the karma is like that and we have to face it. That's all we need to do. Okay, so that is why I told, friends, it's a very important Raj Yoga, and anyone who is watching this video, I'm sure that they have some kind of interest in astrology, or they are curious to find out that whether they have this yoga, or they are going through the results of this yoga also. So it can be possible, but we have to find out what is the truth behind it. And most important thing, like, there should be a time where the person should get the Mahadasha, or Dasha of that particular planet which is forming this Raj Yoga. Okay, because suppose we don't have that Mahadasha coming into in that person's lifetime, then also it's difficult to experience the results of this yoga. So friends, I will continue the details of in 3 yogas in my next video. I thank you so much for watching this video, and please do subscribe and like this video if you like. If you have any doubts, you can put the comments, and I'll definitely reply to your comments. Once again, friends, thank you so much. I will meet you in the next video, where I'll explain what are these name of these Raj Yogas, and how they are formed, and what will be the results. Once again, thank you so much.